I have really been intrigued by this recipe called chicken tikka masala. 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 It's actually became popular from Britain, from United Kingdom and London specifically. I've never eaten it. I've never made it. And whenever I heard of it, I was like, chicken tikka by itself is perfect. I mean, why do you want to dunk it in a masala? You know, this absolutely makes no sense. The first part is, of course, you have to prepare the chicken tikka. Now, the one thing that I noticed in a lot of people, the way they were making chicken tikka masala is that they were not actually making the chicken tikka. They would marinate it and then they would just fry it on the pan. And so that's not really chicken tikka. That's like a really lazy version of it. And that's not how you. Chicken tikka has to be grilled or made in tandoor essentially, but if you don't have tandoor, you have to grill it in the oven, and that's what I'm going to do. So let me first show you how to marinate. For making the chicken tikka, basically I have taken the boneless piece of the leg, which is supposed to be much more tender and more tasty. So I've taken them and I've cut them in these kind of chunks. The reason we take little big chunky pieces is because with the heat and grilling, they shrivel up and you don't want very small pieces. This will be approximately be around 500 to 600 grams. So the first thing we do is we're going to squeeze some lemon, one lemon, approximately like I said half a kilo to 600 grams of chicken. One lemon is more than enough. Lemon is a tenderizer, but in this is also takes care of any kind of meat smell. Then we add salt. Generally you add 1 spoon to half a kilo, but I've added more one because this is Himalayan salt is less salty than the regular salt, and plus a lot of this will get wasted. Some Kashmiri chili for the color. Okay, this is not spicy, not very spicy, so you can add more if you want the red color. Some spicy red chili, dry red chili. This is to add a little zing. Some turmeric. I've got a nice fresh turmeric ground paste, so I'm going to add a little bit of that. Some ginger garlic paste, fresh homemade ginger garlic paste. I've got some tandoori masala. If you don't have tandoori masala, you can add some cumin powder, coriander powder and garam masala, and you will be fine. But this is easily available tandoori masala. I've got this specially from Amritsar. You can get it anywhere in the city. And now I'm going to add this dahi. This much dahi in half a kilo. You want it nice and creamy. Curd will take care of the fact that the chicken doesn't become too dry while you're cooking it. So we'll just mix it now properly. Just make sure every piece has the marinade. So basically, after marinating and mixing it well, you make sure that you marinate it you cover it and you marinate it. Keep it in the fridge for a good 2 to 3 hours minimum. Longer better. Pretty simple, right? Just remember, you need to marinate it for at least 2 hours. I know a lot of recipes say just 30 minutes is enough, 40 minutes is enough. Trust me, any tandoori food, the more you marinate, the more tasty it will come out. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. So I was intrigued by it, that how come it's becoming so popular, and it's not only popular in UK, it's popular worldwide now, and a lot of celebrities endorse it and things like that. I thought, why don't I just cook it and make it myself and taste it and see what's the big hype about. So I thought I'll do some research, and I sent a message to a friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, Diana, who's based in London, United Kingdom, and I said that, can you just help me research and point me to the direction, because I wanted to make authentic chicken tikka masala with the way they make it in Britain, and so I was like, okay, so can you help me, direct me in this thing? And she said, Amit, you listen and you listen good. So I was like, well, this sounds important and I'm all ears. So she was like, you do your own research. I'm not interested in any of this nonsense and your childish pursuits. I have never eaten chicken tikka masala, and stop stereotyping us. So that went well. And then she blocked me also. Anyways, I was quite inspired by this pep talk by my friend, and I went around doing my own research. So what I found was that this masala that they dunk the chicken tikka in is a lot like the gravy that we have of butter chicken. Let me tell you about this tomato gravy, which is similar to butter chicken gravy, that how we do it. So the first thing that we do is boil the tomatoes with some cashews, some kasuri methi, some green chilies, and in this recipe you also add a little bit of stock of the fresh coriander. So after you boil it, you essentially puree it, and then after that you cook it. If you want to see the full recipe of the butter chicken gravy, it's best that you see the episode on butter chicken gravy by head chef Semanti. I'll post a link in the description section below, and you can check that out as well. And it's the same recipe for this. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. I mean, like, butter chicken gravy is fine by itself. Chicken tikka is fine by itself. And I mean, if the Brits wouldn't have done anything to it, they would have probably just lived in harmony altogether forever. But that's butter chicken, chicken tikka with chicken tikka and butter chicken gravy. I mean, that would be perfect. What's the point? But they had to draw a partition in the middle with the masalas. British do have this they're really nice, warm people. They have a habit of taking what is already there, somebody else's, and then making it their own. I'm sure you'll find a lot of those examples in the British Museum. Like I said, the butter chicken gravy, and then you have the chicken tikka, and then you have the British partition of masala. So that masala is essentially onions, finely chopped onions, then you have finely chopped tomatoes, some fresh coriander, and then you have these variety of spices in it: cumin powder, fresh coriander powder, Kashmiri red chili, spicy red chili, then some garam masala, salt, turmeric, and ginger garlic paste. And all of these spices, the entire range of it, goes into this onion tomato masala that one fries. It's been quite a few hours because I had a lot of time, so I almost marinated it for 4-5 hours. I have made this contraption, which basically the grill. This is where I'm going to be keeping the chicken tikkas, and have a tray below it. So the tray helps in collecting whatever is dripping from the chicken tikka, the masalas or oil, fat, whatever, and doesn't mess up your oven. Just one thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to just add a little oil to this and mix it once before putting it on. So just a little oil is enough, not too much, maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons depending on the quantity. And just mix it. So I'm just going to try and place this now. If you have skewers, that's even better. I'm not using the skewers today. I have preheated the oven at 220. I'm going to cook also at high heat at 220 to 200 because I want nice charcoal edges to the tikkas, and because they also add flavor to the recipe. So while the tikkas are getting done, I want them a little well done, charcoaled from the edges. We're going to start preparing the masala. So I'm going to fry the masala in a mix of the refined vegetable oil, little bit of that, and a small dollop of butter. So I'm going to add some onions, finely chopped onions. We just saute it. We don't need to make it very dark brown, just a little bit. It becomes translucent, the onion becomes translucent a little bit more, and then you add the tomatoes. the onions are brown enough. You don't need to brown it any further. Just add the tomatoes and now saute them for a bit. So the chicken tikka is done quite nicely. It's looking good. Tomatoes are softened a bit and I'm going to add a little ginger garlic paste. Not too much. I just want to make sure that I balance out the quantity of each of that spice, be it the ginger garlic paste or the various other dry spices that we are putting into it, so that no one thing overpowers it. In fact, it all comes in together in a nice symphony and a blend of flavors. So you cook this till your ginger garlic paste is cooked and then you're not getting that raw smell, and then you add the other ingredients. The ginger garlic paste is cooked along with the tomatoes, and I'm going to start putting in the salt, turmeric, coriander powder, cumin powder, chilies, Kashmiri chili for the color, garam masala, and just going to mix it. Give it a minute or two. Mix well. What you're seeing now, that's the masala, the British version, the British partition that they have put between the chicken tikka and the butter chicken gravy. And well, I'm excited to see what twist it brings to this. And yeah, so we're going to start adding the gravy now. The tomato gravy, the butter chicken gravy into this. Some fresh coriander and then mix it. Can you see the nice color that it's getting mixing with the masala and the cashewy, tomatoey gravy. Many people actually add a little water to this to make it slightly increase the gravy, the curry of the chicken tikka masala. I'm not too sure if I want to add it. Maybe half a glass or maybe less than that also. Once this is cooked a little. I'm definitely going to add butter. I'm going to add cream, and then we're going to also add the broadly chopped onions and capsicum and green chilies. So all kind of masalas, raw, dry, wet, and tikkas. So I'm adding half a cup of hot water, warm water. I'm just adding a little sugar to balance the taste out. We normally do that in butter chicken as well. Coming back to the chicken tikka masala recipe, basically it has chicken tikka, then it has this tomatoey gravy which is almost similar. In fact, it's just the same as butter chicken gravy. Then it has this masala mix which is made with a variety of spices. So I guess the East India Company coming to India for spices finally paid off. Yeah, and so putting it all together, and that's called chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. Chicken tikka masala. I've never tasted it, so I have no idea how it's going to come out. But I've studied the recipe by some British chefs and all of that. This recipe is actually quite an ode to the Indian subcontinent, because if you go and look for its origins, it's comes from India, Pakistan, Bangladesh. Various things they've taken from there and then made it into British. Now it's actually their national dish. I think in 2001 it was declared as their national dish. Now I'm going to add some chicken tikkas to it. And though the chicken tikkas are already cooked, but you want to cook the chicken tikka and the gravy so that the taste intermingle, and when you're eating the chicken tikka part, It has all the flavors of the gravy, the masalas. This is the time I'm going to add a little bit more of the coriander, fresh coriander. I've added the onions and the capsicum, the broadly cut onions and the capsicum to it, and some green chilies. And all you have to do is just stir it and cook it for 2 to 3 minutes, not more than that, because you want that crunchy taste, and that's what this recipe calls for. And I've also added half a cup of warm water more into this, because I was feeling as we were stirring, that the gravy is getting a little too thick for my liking. So because we'll still be adding the cream and the butter, so it will get a bit more thick, so we need to balance that out. The naans are done beautifully. We are going to have this chicken tikka masala with some sort of a naan, which also I'm going to cook in the oven. The head chef has been very kind, and she has kneaded the dough that I require for making the naan. I'm just going to stretch it out and roll it out in some whatever shape I can. I'm very bad with making breads. Basically, I did try to roll out the naans, but that was a disaster. So I requested head chef to please also roll out the naans, and but I shoved it in the oven. That's the main thing. That's the hardest part about it, is shoving the tray full of beautifully rolled out naans into the oven. It's not easy. I know normally people have soft naan, but I like my naans to be a little biscuity, well done. Chicken tikka masala, chicken tikka masala, chicken tikka masala. So time to add the real deal, the butter. I'm very liberal with butter. I love butter. More butter please. And some cream. See the lovely color. Like I said, it looks a lot like butter chicken, but the flavors are definitely going to be very different, because we've added so many more spices that don't go into the butter chicken. As you can see that it looks a lot like butter chicken. I already told you that, but basically the flavors are going to be very different. I haven't tasted it as yet, but I can tell you, because there are a lot of spices and other ingredients that are going into it which don't go into the butter chicken. So it's going to be a cross between butter chicken and some kind of a masala chicken. And yeah, so I'm quite excited to now test it and taste it and see what I have done. It's done. I'll just check for salt once. Yeah, perfect. I hope Diana unblocks me and watches our show and is inspired to make this chicken tikka masala. A little bit of garnishing with butter and a little cream. Never hurt anyone. Just add a dash of color, a little more. You're done. Time for the ultimate tasting and realizing how much I've succeeded and what do I think of this dish. The first time, I'm a chicken tikka masala virgin, so it's the first time I'm having it, and I'm equal parts excited and scared. So let me serve some first. That should be enough. And some naan to go with it. Nice, crusty and biscuity naan. Oof, it's amazing to eat with this kind of food. I'm going to taste the curry first. So it has all the richness of the butter chicken gravy, but it also has a lot of spice undertones, and so it gives it a nice. It kind of takes away from the sweetness that butter chicken gravy do tend to have, and also cuts the tomato, overbearing tomato flavor that is there in the butter chicken gravy. So it's quite nice. It's quite interesting. Pretty good stuff, yeah. And tasting the curry, the gravy part of this chicken tikka masala, I have kind of realized why it's become so popular in the West and United Kingdom, as well as all over the Western countries. And the reason is that despite, you saw me putting a lot of spices in it, including the red chilies and everything. And I was pretty liberal with it, and even green chilies. And yet, because of that rich tomatoey, cashewy gravy that is added to this, so it kind of tones down the spiciness, the masalaness. So you do get the flavors, but it's not burning your tongue, And as we know, the Firangis, the Western people, the people in UK, Britishers, and various other people, they don't have a lot of tolerance for chili. So I guess that's why this became flavor. That it's not bland. It's flavorful, but it's not spicy. Now let's taste the whole thing, which means that let's break a little chicken tikka and see and eat it with the curry. Finger licking good. Yeah, so I can't tell you how it's like really made the chicken tikka. When it came out of the oven, the chicken tikka was quite crisp and well done. But dunking it in this nice gravy masala, it's made it so soft and creamy. It's melting in your mouth. So I accept it is a dish which is well deserved of its fame and popularity, and yeah, it's a good competition to butter chicken. I'm still a butter chicken guy, but it's a great recipe, and I hope you guys try it out. Diana, please try it out. Very easy, and yeah. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe and all my bakwas with it, and hope to see you soon again next week. I have no idea whether I'm coming or a head chef is cooking something. No idea. Mystery. Bye. Have a good weekend. And subscribe if you haven't. Like our videos, watch them, and give us your feedback.